Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HOTFIX. You're probably wondering why I'm in Kiri's window. Look at that. Look at them eyes dancing. Look at him dancing. Look at him. Are you drinking? Are you drinking? Are you drinking, sir? Basic. That better not be Monster. That's no good for you, boy. It's no good for you.
It is. It is. It's Monster.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got two webcams. One of them is horrendously zoomed in. I'll fix that. There we go.
That's two more webcams.
So let me just explain what's going on. What you can see right now is my main webcam, which only you guys can see. Mr. Kirioth can't see this because he sees my other webcam. Because you can't use the same. You can't. Hang on, I'm explaining, boy. You can't use the one webcam with multiple sources for some reason. There may be software around this, but you just can't. So I've got loads of webcams, and I've like, if I could show you the Skype window, I'm basically zoomed in on my eyes, and Mr. Kiri's like, "What the fuck is going on?" But you guys see me normal.
Yeah.
Also, why are you leaning off to the side? Jesus, webcam.
Because if I'm
oh no, oh no, oh no, no.
Oh shit, Jesus.
You wish.
I share his birthday. What's your problem? So yeah, as you may have noticed if you follow us on Twitter, I did a spring clean, bloke. I think is probably the phrase. I got totally sick of the shit layout of this office, so I changed it all. But I did not consider one vital fact, which is that by placing myself opposite the window,
I'm going to try and fix you.
The window.
I'm going to try and fix you. Keep talking, sir. Keep talking.
The webcam is facing the window. So if we record anything during the day that involves faces, if it's sunny in any capacity, that happens, which is not ideal because it makes me look like
you need one of them blackout blinds.
Fucking Lord. Yeah, I know. I need to change the blind. That's my plan anyway. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to change the blind because that's a damn sight easier than sitting at an angle all the fucking time.
Well, Mr. Kirioth, it's been a while since we've done HOTFIX, and I'm actually going to unzoom my camera so you can see more than just my crazy eyes. As funny as that is.
That would be helpful.
If I do have the camera options open, which I do. Here we go, Mr. Kirioth. Here we go. There you go. There you go. I know it's off center. Don't hate me for it. Just love me. That's all I ask. So
the man is more than a pair of eyebrows now.
Yeah, HOTFIX. So HOTFIX. It's been a while since we've done HOTFIX. Everything always conspires against us, and it's just not right, Mr. Kirioth, and I don't agree with it. But we persevere,
sir. It happens, son. That's what goes on. Shit just happens, and occasionally HOTFIX
but it always
gets
happens
sacrificed.
To us. I mean, what's that about?
That. Well, there was the construction of the Shack of Delights.
Oh yes, which I'm actually in. Like, I mean, like I can just like do what I please because I'm excuse me. Nobody can hit. Like, also, I've got my Twitch T-shirt on, which could be considered some sort of veiled protest against something which we may talk about.
But the Shack of Dreams and Streams was like a vital thing. We needed that.
Oh yeah,
and that interrupted HOTFIX because there are a couple of points where you can't say to someone, for instance, if you want a guest on HOTFIX, you can't say, we want to do it at this time on Thursday, except it might not be that time. It might be 2 hours earlier or 2 hours later, or it might not happen at all, but can you come on anyway? Because funnily enough, people have got fucking lives and jobs, ain't they, bloke? So that's not acceptable. So
quite often it'd
be a case of right, we're gonna do HOTFIX, and then it'd be okay, well, like half the materials for the next stage of construction have just turned up. It could really do with doing that. Problem. In which case, you've got to do that because we could either sit and carry on doing HOTFIX or delay the building of the office, which would have impacted more than missing a few HOTFIXes. And we did talk about like maybe just doing it solo, so I would just do it or something. But HOTFIX is a discussion show. I don't want to just be sitting here for like an hour and a half telling you about stuff that's happened during the week.
I think I did that before. You know, it was terrible.
I think you've done it. I think you've done it once, but I didn't like the idea of it, so we didn't do that.
No, it's crap.
So, it's just been, and of course you lost your voice last week, which is like the worst timing known to man.
Yeah, that was really annoying, that was.
All the streaming in the world!
Do you know what really annoyed me with that? I was really enjoying Bloodborne. Like, I was playing that like a goddamn animal, right? And I was streaming it all the time, and it was great. But then I didn't stream for a week, so this gave people a chance to actually complete the game. And then the last stream I did of Bloodborne, holy hell, Mr. Kirioth, it was bad. In fact, I banned multiple people out of the chat, because it was just like, this is terrible, that's not how you kill this boss. And it's like, Okay, the stream title says Blind Bloodborne Playthrough, which is annoying to me because I do want to play through it, but we'll see where that goes. Anyway, Mr. Kirioth, it's hotfix time, and I'm not sure if I've got the actual hotfix thing set up, which maybe I should have checked before we went live. I do have a thing which says monitor only, which could possibly be what I'm looking for. So let me just go for it. Well, it's just a black screen, but I can fix that. There we go. It's now not a black screen. It is The Verge's website. So, Mr. Kirioth, the first thing we're going to talk about in
hang on. There's been a staple of hotfix.
Oh, hang on, sir. Hang on.
That we've just skipped over. What have you been playing this week?
Oh, true. So, well, I've played Bloodborne, obviously, which doesn't really come as a shock. I've also played Star Trek Online, and I have, well, I think that's probably it, to be honest. I am going to play Axiom Verge today, which I have been looking forward to. It's been a very long time since I played any kind of platformer. It's supposed to be like a Metroid-style one, although I've never played the Metroid games, so I don't know, but it looks like it's fairly difficult, and it's also a PS4 game. Well, I think you can get it on PC, but it's out on PS4 now, or it may be out on PC, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm going to be playing later on. But yeah, I played Star Trek Online. Now, I did stream this yesterday, and I played it for about 4 hours. Now, the last time I played this was with you, Mr. Kirioth, which was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was years ago. Years ago.
Ancient. The ground combat was terrible, and the ship combat I remember being okay. It's pretty much the same, to be honest. The ground combat was completely pointless. Like, I get that the game is supposed to be, you know, like the way it's designed is you go on like these episodes of Star Trek. That's the only way to describe it. So when you go on a mission or something, you've got the ship bit, you've got the away team, all staples of Star Trek, and you know, whatever. The problem is though, the ground combat is so absolutely terrible in every single conceivable way. It just destroys the game. And for any, I mean, I think you were in the stream chat and you even said, I wouldn't play this. I'd just leave. And I bet most people do. You just be like, what the hell is this? Because it forces hours of running about to start off with.
Yeah. I downloaded it and booted it up because I was like, actually, this doesn't. The tutorial looks terrible, but I'd like to try and play it again. And I found I've got a level 5 character from God knows when. I don't know when I made that.
I had no.
But I was like, oh, all right. So I started playing it, and I did a bit of ship combat. Absolutely fine. I enjoyed that. But then it told me to like teleport onto someone's ship, beam to someone's ship. Sorry, and I went there, and immediately I was like, no, I can't do it because when you look at all the games that are available, I'm not going to spend time playing a game that forces me to use like a mechanic that is not only kind of dodgy in that game, but also feels like no one cares.
Yeah,
like there's stuff like my guy had the ability to use his rifle to knock people away.
Oh,
I got attacked by a Klingon sword master, I think it was called, who had one of those massive, like, whatever they are. That's the one. And he ran up to me, and
I've got to stop you, Mr. Kirioth. I'm sorry for stopping you. But I look my normal colour on my shitty old webcam, but I look horrendously white on my better webcam. But nobody can see this apart from me and Kiri. But I look like some white... I was going to say a white man, which is retarded, because that's what I am. But, like, you know... I look really... Whatever, carry on. Sorry.
But yeah, I did that. I did that bit of ground combat, and it was poor. And it was really poor. And I just, as soon as I finished it, I was like, this is why I kind of didn't carry on with this game to begin with, because the ship combat's really cool, and I really like it, and it's properly Star Trek. Like, I really love the fact that it feels like you're in control of something out of Star Trek. But then on the ground, you got a guy with like a janky running animation who can beat a Klingon warrior to death with his rifle because he's just lying on the floor. And the best way to kill stuff is to run straight past them whilst they don't shoot you and shoot them in the back, and there's no attempt to find cover or move or do. And it's just, it feels like Cryptic don't give a damn. And I don't want to play something where they don't. Where it doesn't feel like they give a damn.
Yeah, it's really shit. I mean, I think it's changed ownership a few times, but the game is shit in that respect. The ground combat is pointless. I mean, I don't care if anyone says it's good. They're idiots. It's terrible. It's really poor. But the ship combat, I mean, I played a PvE encounter, which was like horrendously unbalanced. Again, I'm not a pro, and maybe I joined the wrong queue or something. But when I've got the Miranda class, which is the first ship you get given, and there's people in like Sovereign class and Galaxy class ships and fucking D Deridex Warbirds and God knows what in the same area as you. and like this insane fleet warps in and blows me away instantly. It's like, good God. But it was still enjoyable. Like I was still enjoying, like I knew I was doing no damage, but there was a massive fleet action going on, and it was like, holy crap! Because the whole thing about changing the direction of your ship based on where the shields are damaged, and then kind of redirect power to the shields and the weapons and all of that. It's quite good. It's like, hey, this is quite good.
Yeah.
And then I did a PvP thing with some of the guys from the Unit Lost fleet. Again, like I was totally crap because I was with people who had like mental ships. I don't even know from where. But like even that was really interesting, and I found myself wanting to go back into it, even though I was shit. So it's going to be something I'm going to play a little bit. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. But the ground combat is terrible. Yeah. I've been told by professionals that I know that you can play the game without the ground combat, but it gets a little bit hard to level. Like it can be longer to level. But to be quite honest, when I did the PvE encounter and that leveled me, like I think it leveled me once, so it took me up to level 6, I think. I would just do that all day in the ship. I do not want any of the ground combat. It is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing, Mr. Kirioth?
Well, I finished Transistor again. I've completed that game.
You know what? I've not played that.
You really should. I mean, I've only completed it twice so far, but it's only about 6 to 7 hours long.
From the Bastion guys, all right?
Yeah. I was going to do New Game Plus. For some reason, when I booted it up after having built this new PC and everything, I don't know where my old save's gone. It should have been on the Steam Cloud, but it's not. So I had to start again. So I had to play through from scratch. But I've started another game now, which is New Game Plus, where you keep all of your old abilities and like all the unlocks that you already had. But the game is harder as a result. It's basically like Dark Souls style. You keep everything you've built up, but everything gets more difficult. So I'm going to play that through again, just because the storytelling in that game is, I think, some of my favourite storytelling of any game, because it's kind of half told to you and half something you've got to discover yourself. Like, you get a basic idea of what's going on, but every time you unlock a new ability, it's like the ability is a fragment of a person, of like a person's personality and history. Okay. And so you've got 3 different slots as well. You've got passive abilities, active abilities, and you can have like secondaries to your like active abilities. So when you pick up a new skill, you put it in your active ability. Like, okay, that looks like a good attack. I'll try that, and that unlocks part of their biography. So you can read that person's biography. If you equip it as a passive skill and then play with it, you unlock another part of the biography. And if you use it as a secondary to a normal ability, then you unlock the third bit. So the game forces you to experiment with all the different skills by kind of putting part of the lore and part of the story inside all of your skills. So you get a skill and it's like, here you go, here's a new attack. So you put it in and you're like, okay, this sounds good. Oh wait, if I equip it as a passive, it does something different, and I get to unlock more of the story. I really like the way they've done it, because there's loads of different skills, there's loads of different combinations. They all do something different. Like, there's not really that much of a, oh, I've already got this, but it's better. You don't really get that situation at all. They're all different skills, and it's like, be adventurous, try it in different places, because you'll get to know more of the world that you're in. And you get, I can't remember what they're called now. I always want to call them inhibitors, but you get these things where you can activate them to make the game harder. So, like, the enemy will have like 2% more health, or you take 2% more damage, and again, that contains little bits of the story, little bits of lore, and it's just really well done. It's like a really, really good game, and it didn't get as much attention as Bastion, and I really thought that it should have done.
That's what I was going to say, yeah, because Bastion was a good game, yeah, but Transistor, it did have hype coming up to it, I think, but then it just like fell off. Well, I mean, it fell off. Everyone
just kind of said, yeah, it's from the guys who made Bastion, and it's good. It's like Bastion. It's really good, and that's it. But there's no real like further discussion. Like, I really thought there'd be more talk about the music for a start, because the music is absolutely incredible. Like, the soundtrack for that game, I've got it on Spotify and I listen to it pretty much all the time, even when I'm not even thinking about playing the game. It's just a really good soundtrack, and it's used to tell part of the story as well. And I mean, the combat's good, it's interesting, it's fun. The only downside is, and people have picked up on this before, and I absolutely agree, that the end part of the game, it drags. Like, the game is it's already short, because it's only like, I'd say, if you know what you're doing, you probably complete it in about maybe 5 hours, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
Like, this New Game Plus run, I'd imagine I'll probably do it in about 5 hours. But like, the last part of the game could do with being about half an hour shorter, because they introduced this new enemy, and then just throw it at you over and over again. But it's not interesting enough to warrant it. It's like they thought we need to pad this out a bit. This is too short. And actually, for once, I would have said, no. It could have done with being shorter. You could have just taken the last act and trimmed about half an hour of encounters out of it, and the game would be the perfect length for the story it tells, and everyone would have been happy. But for some reason, they didn't. But yeah, I'm going to start that again, and I've played it through again, and I've been playing War for the Overworld as well, which you'll see those videos on the channel. You should go and watch those. The first one, I just got killed by nostalgia because I'm an absolute Dungeon Keeper fanboy. Not the mobile game. Don't ever talk to me about that ever.
That was great.
But like Dungeon Keeper and Dungeon Keeper 2 were massive influences on the type of games I like. So when War for the Overworld was kickstarted, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. And I got access to the Bedrock Beta, and I was like, well, okay. I didn't really touch it. I just messed about in the sandbox because I didn't want to like spoil the game for myself. So when it came out and we got a key, I was like, this is absolutely awesome, brilliant. It's so broken. It's such a shame because the campaign, for instance, is really well done. It's a really good campaign. It's really interesting. The gameplay is really good, but it's just so knackered. I'm on mission 9 now, and I had to stop playing the game because I got a memory leak. That, I mean, my computer, we just had to rebuild it, and it's got 16 gig of RAM. Previously, I had 8 gig of RAM in my old machine. On my old machine, I would not be able to play mission 9 of the War for the Overworld campaign, because the memory leak got up to 9.6 gig RAM.
Gig RAM.
And I mean,
love it.
Fucking...
Oh my god.
Well, you know what I mean. But it's
I'm laughing at the amount. 9.6.
Oh, yeah, it's insane. Like, I literally couldn't. I mean, I've seen people, like, someone even commented on the video, and they're like, oh, I can't finish the campaign because there's one mission where there's a memory leak, and my computer just crashes like the game goes. And I was thinking, like, okay, I've not had that. But then, of course, I mean, you pointed out to me earlier, Sty, my PC isn't a typical PC. Typical PCs still have 8 gig or less.
Well, yeah.
So if you've got a computer with 8 gig of RAM and you get to mission 9, you're fucked. Sorry, but you literally cannot progress any further because the game leaks memory at such a ridiculous rate that you will get to the stage where it will just wipe out your computer. It will just go. That'll be it. It's gone. And it's such a shame because they've obviously tried really hard. They had to push it out before it was finished. But the problem with that is that this is not a AAA game. Like, this is not a massive publisher behind it. This is not like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or anything like that. This is like it's a kickstarted game from a first-time studio. And if you fuck up the launch of your kickstarted game from your first-time studio, you get slaughtered. And I really don't want that to be the case. And in fairness to them, and this is something I should have mentioned in the video that I did, like following up, but I kind of forgot because I was so caught up with telling you how buggy and broken it was. In fairness to them, they've completely acknowledged that it's broken. I mean, that's a start. Also, the number of patches that they're putting out is absolutely ridiculous. I think it was yesterday alone. I was sat there and I kept like looking at Steam. I reckon yesterday alone I got 3 patches delivered to that game, all in excess of 200 meg. So they're obviously fixing it. Patches on Saturday and Sunday for War for the Overworld through Steam. They're not sitting there just going, oh, well, it's broken. They're actively trying to fix it, and they're working ridiculously hard. But it's got to be quick. Like, they've got to get it fixed, because this is it might be the follow-up to Dungeon Keeper 2. It might be what all of the Dungeon Keeper fans wanted, but that's not going to be enough if the game's completely knackered. Like, that's not going to sell it for you. You've got to have the game working, and at the moment, it just doesn't work properly.
Well, okay. So, let's get into HOTFIX. Ladies and gentlemen, the first topic, if you follow me on Twitter, you will know that I was absolutely disgusted at this at Utilus Gaming. Follow me now, it is beautiful. Follow Kiri as well, at Kirioth. He was also equally disgusted. However, I was so disgusted, I went on a goddamn assault on Twitter, and I was just spamming everything all over the place. Also, I apologise as well for my webcam. I fixed it, Mr. Kirioth. I now no longer look like a bloody... I don't know, like I've got some...
A ghoul.
A ghoul, yes.
What are they, from north of the wall? The
yes.
White Walkers?
Yeah, I'm not that ugly, come on. But yeah, my webcam is now the right orientation, so that's right. That's whatever. So, yeah, we're going to full screen, Mr. Kirioth, and I am going to read this newfangled YouTube subscription plan, right? Okay, over we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Verge. Now, all of this stuff that The Verge have come up with, we're not going to read. What I'm going to read is this, which is the letter from YouTube, which is sent to creators, which I've not received. So I don't know what creators they're sending this to. Probably just vlog people, because they don't give a shit about any other kind of content. Or people who make little cakes, or people who make, I don't know, beauty tutorials. Who knows? Anyway, this is what they say.
Or terrible music videos.
Yeah. Yeah. And then get picked up by, is it Usher? And then become Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dear, and the name is obviously blocked out, your fans want choices. Not only do they want to watch what they want, whenever they want, anywhere, and on any device they choose, they want YouTube features built specifically with their needs in mind. Over the past several months, we've taken bold new steps to bring these experiences to life. Since inviting hundreds of thousands of fans into our YouTube Music Key beta, we've seen tremendous engagement, and we've seen an equally enthusiastic response for our new YouTube Kids app. I don't even know what that is. Oh no, I do. No. Yeah, I think I do. That's the thing where it doesn't show them any adult content, so it just shows the Minecraft channels. And we've seen an equally... Oh no, I've just read that, so I won't read that again. It's already crossed 2 million installations even, in less than 1 month, so that's their kids app thing, great. We're excited to build on this momentum by taking another big step forward, big step in favour of choice, offering fans an ad-free version of YouTube for a monthly fee. By creating a new paid offering, we'll generate a new source of revenue that will supplement your fast-growing advertising revenue. So what's next? Launching a new paid offering will require us to update your terms through your Creator Studio dashboard, a process that should feel familiar to anyone who went through a similar process 3 years ago when we began distributing and monetizing your content on mobile devices. Today, mobile represents over half of all watch time, and mobile revenue is up 200% in the last year. Just as with mobile, we're confident this latest contract will excite your fans and generate a previously untapped additional source of revenue for you. Please look out for our notification, review it, and let us know your thoughts. It's an exciting year for YouTube as we push ourselves into uncharted territories, but we will continue to be guided by a desire to deliver the choices fans want and the revenue you need. By working closely with you, we know it'll be a successful journey, the YouTube team. So, okay, that's their thing. Now, I did say I wasn't going to read any of their article off, but that was a lie. I actually am, because what is not included in that letter is a lot of the information, which is actually included in this article. So, what they're saying is, the company has told creators of popular channels today that the offering, which does not yet have a name, it's coming soon, and it will offer ad-free videos as well as the ability to store videos offline on their mobile devices, for a price expected to be around $10 a month. It will also let creators put their videos behind a paywall so that only subscribers to the premium version can view them. Okay. Bloomberg apparently published a letter, which I've not actually looked at, so let me just check that. Bit of research on the fly. Guess that doesn't matter, it's okay. Right, so it says the offering may also include lower price subscriptions for specific categories, such as music and children's programming. Okay, so they could be around $7.99 a month. But then, as they aptly say, for creators, YouTube's carrot comes with a stick, and this stick is a beat stick, Mr. Kirioth. Why am I getting a massive advertisement for Gogglebox? Good job I'm muted. But anyway. Yeah, they're like, well, what? The subscription offers... This is the killer. This is the thing which is bad. So the subscription offers big channels a new way to make money. Notice the word there, big channels. While YouTube will still take roughly 45% of all advertising revenue generated by the channel. They do that anyway on every channel, so that's not news to anyone. They're also offering partners a cut of the subscription money. Subscription revenues will be pooled, with partners receiving 55% of the total. Individual partner cuts will be... basically, what this is saying is... I'm going to go back to that face, Mr. Kirioth, because I'm so disgusted. What they're saying is, right, hi, we're YouTube, and we are... In fact, fuck the subscription thing. Hi, we're YouTube, and we're going to bring in a tip system. A tip jar, we'll call it. Because no doubt we've seen Twitch, and we've seen Twitch, and you know, like what they're doing with their tip system, because that is empowering creators. It's if people like what they see, this free content they're viewing, they can give a little tip, and people do that, and that's fine. So let's do that. On paper, that sounds good, doesn't it, Mr. Kirioth? I'm sure everybody watching this agrees. I remember saying to you, shit, this could be great for us.
Yeah.
But how do sorry, Mr. Kirioth, what was you going to say? Just go in, Mr. Kirioth, go in.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, this could actually be really good. This could be fantastic. And since then, there's been a complete lack of anything, because it's not there. It doesn't what.
So we're in it. This is the funny thing. We're actually in it, but I don't think it's available in the UK yet. It's still an American thing. Okay. I've spoke to people at YouTube, and they've said, "Oh yeah, it'll be a thing," but that's not the problem. The problem is to actually tip somebody on YouTube. It's in a far-flung area of their YouTube channel, which you would never see, right? Because you only watch the video page. I mean, people rarely go to a YouTube channel anyway. They just go to the videos from the subscription feed, right? They're not going to go to the page and then go to the About page and then scroll down, then click on a thing and then do a thing. But when you get to that thing, it's Google Wallet only. It's not PayPal or anything like that. So it's like, nobody uses it. It's like a shit system. That's a typical Google way of implementing a change to YouTube. Now, the other thing they did, which I ranted about on Twitter, was let's update the channel layout, right? Let's have a homogenized system where everything is the same. On paper, this sounds good, doesn't it? Because let's think, if the video player is always in the same place, the sub button's always in the same place, which it kind of was in the past, but anyway, it's the same. Channels have got the same sort of structure. That's great. People get used to it. They know how to navigate a channel. But the way they implemented that was to remove every customization feature and just let you change the banner. And it's like, we come from a world where we could change the entire background of the channel and all of that stuff, to just a world where we can just have a little banner. It's like, what? Understandably, people got angry at that, because it's like, what the hell is this? You're cutting down on a creative tool that the creators were using. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So then we get to what we've got now, which this is by far the worst thing I have ever seen them do, because YouTube is a place where two blokes from Britain can go away and make a channel on gaming entertainment because they enjoy games, right? And they get considerable views on that channel. There's no way you could do that anywhere else, okay? No other website could give us the capacity we need for our views, our videos, and all of that stuff. That's great. But what they don't give us is a great way to make it a sustainable business. Because I'm flat out going to say, YouTube is the worst revenue stream we've got. How does that make sense? How does that make sense, okay? So you would think, YouTube, okay, great for like niche, or niche if you're American, but it's niche, you know, content, right? Where you can go out, you can make something, and people who are fans of that can come and find it, and that's great. And they can watch your videos, and you'll get money off the ads. Problem is, you don't make enough money off the adverts unless you get massive amount of views, which then takes you out of the area of niche content. Suddenly you become mainstream content, and you're making montage videos, you're making face cam screen videos, you're doing other stuff. I mean, there are exceptions to this. There's people like your Total Biscuits and that who do have a certain format, and luckily they did that first, or did it first in any kind of capacity, so they've become known for that, so they can always forever and a day do that.
You know what, though? That's something actually that is a good point, because something I've seen, and people have said that to us as well. There have been comments on our videos, on our channel, where it's like, oh, you guys have been doing this for ages. Look, if you just cut down the gameplay, if you cut out things like HOTFIX, if you just did things like montage videos, it's like, we're not doing that because we don't want to fucking do that. That's the point. We want to make the content that we want to make, not the content that PewDiePie makes. We didn't set out to make a channel that's exactly the same as his channel, which is why it's not exactly the same. And then you have people who say things like, oh, well, all, you know, the really big channels like Total Biscuit, I hate to break it to you, Total Biscuit, in the grand scheme of YouTube, not that big.
No,
he's big enough to make a decent amount of money off it, but I'm sorry, have you seen PewDiePie? Have you seen like Vanos Gaming and stuff?
Oh yeah.
You know, the way to get huge amounts of money on YouTube, and in fact even just to make it a passable living on YouTube, is to just do what everyone else does. But the thing is, YouTube keeps making it out to be not to do what everyone else does. Do what you want to do. You know, share the things that you want to make. Be a content creator. At the moment, their system punishes content creators by saying, well, your content isn't the same as this really popular content, therefore it gets no promotion, it gets no linkability, it gets nothing. You've just got to deal with it.
Yeah, well, on the promotion thing, what they do, there are like YouTube, like kind of home channels, I guess you could call them, where if you go to YouTube Game, I think it's YouTube Gaming, it's like a special YouTube channel, which is run by YouTube, which just shows you all the top popular game stuff. And like Kiri said, it'll just be Vanos Gaming, it'll just be Syndicate Project, it'll just be, you know, well, kind of was Yogscast, but not really anymore. But it'll be like Stampy Ed, Longcat, and people like that, which are just like, and PewDiePie, obviously, they just get bigger and bigger. They don't really show any of the other stuff. So if we go back to the whole idea of niche content, and YouTube always goes on about the fact it wants to help its creators, it wants to give them viable revenue streams and all of this stuff. When they then come out and say the subscription offers big channels a new way to make money, well, this is what The Verge is interpreting from its sources, but obviously, you know, they wouldn't print shit. While YouTube will still take roughly 45% of the advertising revenue, which we know, subscription revenues will be pulled together with partners receiving 55% of the total. Now, the problem with this is it's a subscription directly with YouTube. It is not a subscription with the channels in question, because you could turn up, Mr. Kirioth, subscribe to YouTube because you like other channels, but you also watch my channel or any other goddamn channel, thinking you're helping us. You're not. Because now we can't show you adverts, because you don't get adverts anymore on YouTube because you're a sub. So, and your money is going to the big channels because it's all based off how many views those channels get from subs. And obviously, the bigger channels would be getting more views, so they'd get more of the percentage. And channels of our size would greatly suffer as a result because they're not displaying adverts anymore. It's really terrible. And this leads me to the thing of why I've got my Twitch t-shirt on, because Twitch, whatever you think about that website, it gives me as a creator a viable way to produce something and also receive payment for it. It is not based on advertising. It is just not based on advertising. The advertising model is, for a long time, people thought it was just going to go astronomical. You know, year upon year, ad revenue goes up, and it does go up, but it doesn't go up. I mean, it's nowhere near television levels of advertising. If we were getting paid what television channels got paid for showing stuff, we'd be insanely rich, but we're not. And the big channels would be mega rich, you know what I mean? And they'd have a ton of revenue, but we're not like that. It's a different thing altogether. So with Twitch, they give you the option to subscribe to a channel, and it is to a channel. It is not to Twitch. You can get a Twitch Turbo subscription, which does give you benefits across the site, and that is to Twitch. I think some of that does go to partners, but again, it'll be very minimal. It mainly goes to Twitch. But you can subscribe to a channel. $4.99 a month, you can subscribe to a channel. You directly support that channel. You get benefits, Mr. Kirioth. You get little badges, you get certain things. Most likely the streamer will do certain events with you and stuff like that. You can also tip these people, which again isn't really a Twitch feature. This is just something people have brought in, but people do use. And why do they use it? Because it's right underneath the goddamn player, what everybody's watching. It's not fucking hidden away in the middle of nowhere. The last thing I want to say on this before I let you come in, Mr. Kirioth, is if all YouTube need to do is, if there was a subscription option per channel, okay, and it was a really small amount, because you've got to remember, YouTube is a free service. Everyone's used to YouTube being free. Why pay to watch YouTube video, right? But if it was $1, if you could, if you as a viewer could subscribe for $1 a month to our channel, you, in monetary terms, and in terms to us, who are a very small business that require as much revenue as we can get, because what we produce isn't mental mainstream stuff, so we have to look at alternative like revenue streams. That $1 is, you essentially suddenly become 1,000 people plus. That one person does, view-wise. So then you don't have to make a video which has got thousands of views, because you can happily make a video and okay, it gets 4,000 or 5,000 views, but if you've got a number of subscribers a month for that, you're getting paid in accordance for the entertainment you provide. Because the fact is, Mr. Kirioth, we make like tens of thousands of views a day we get on our stuff. If we were just on YouTube, we'd get paid more stacking shelves at a local supermarket. No disrespect to anyone doing that, but what I'm saying is that's not really right, is it? You know, like something which you have to spend all day working on, 12 hours plus, to get essentially below minimum wage as a return off that, is not a good system, is it? That's why we've got everything else. You know, we've got Patreon, we've got the stream, we've got forum subscriptions, and we have to have that because we couldn't function without it.
I mean, there's two people working on this all the time. And as a result, it's like barely earning as much with two people as one person would earn doing minimum wage work, and that's not down to lack of effort on our part, or lack of care, or lack of trying. That's down to the fact that YouTube's approach to making money is it's ignorant and backwards, and it doesn't take into account the fact that there is this vast number of people who would be happy to help out. I mean, look at Twitch. Look at subscribers on Twitch. That's $5 a month to support a channel that you like. And that makes perfect sense. And people do that. A lot of people do that because to them it's not a huge amount of money.
Well, I do it, yeah.
But it's like
you see that is the thing. It's not like what you get in terms of entertainment from any YouTube channel or any streamer. Let's use Twitch as the example. From any streamer, if you subscribe to them, you're probably most likely going to get at least 5 streams a week, and they're probably going to be at least 3 hours long each stream. That's a ton of content.
Yeah.
If you like what they're doing and you subscribe to them, you're going to get interaction with the streamer. You're going to get all your emoticons or whatever in the chat. You get given a tangible. You're getting given something for that, and you're also helping that streamer out. That's just not the case on YouTube. Like for us I mean, but that's what we do with our Patreon. Although we don't push it because I don't like to just go, oh God, essentially begging people to subscribe or become a patron or any of that shit. But that's what we did with Patreon. It was like, look, it's very hard to make a lot of money. Well, it sounds like I'm moaning about not making a lot of money, but it's very hard to make. When I say a lot of money, guys, I just mean a sustainable income, a living. It's something which is acceptable, so you can buy food and not have to eat shitty 19p noodles all the time. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like some madman obsessed with money, because if I was, I'd just be making montage videos all the time and Minecraft and stuff. But we were like, how can we give people an option to help us or support us because they really like what we're doing? And Patreon was the answer to that, and Patreon works well, and that's fine. But Patreon is something which is not on YouTube. It's like, what?
Yeah,
why
it's
didn't
an
YouTube
external
think
site
of
that requires us to say we have this thing on another place that if you want to use, you have to then sign up for. But there's no like direct relationship between that and between YouTube, except the fact that we say there is. That doesn't work.
No,
like, that's not.
But on Twitch there is, isn't there? That's the thing. Because on Twitch it's like, I'm there. Oh, I'll subscribe.
It's all integrated, and that's the thing that always gets me. YouTube's approach to trying to allow content creators to make money can basically just be summed up as it's like Twitch but worse, because that's all it is.
Way worse.
I mean, YouTube moved into trying to do live streaming. You had to schedule the fucking live stream for a certain amount of time on a certain date, so there's no spontaneity there. Which of course means why the fuck would you use YouTube if you could use Twitch? They introduced the tip jar, which was like, well, getting tips on Twitch. Except you had to use Google Wallet, which no one fucking has, and it's buried somewhere that you can't get to anyway, because no one will look there. And now this subscription, which again is it's counter what you could actually do. I mean, Sty's right. If there was an option on our channel that said you can subscribe to this channel for $1 a month, then I would imagine that a considerable number of people out of the near 50,000 subscribers we've got would do that. And I can tell you right now, for nothing.
Number of people as well. This is the thing. It's like when you sit there and make stuff which gets thousands of views, and you are supported mainly off an ad model on that platform, and that ad model is your worst income. It's like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't sit there and be like, what we make is, I think it's worthy of more, but I'm afraid today we're going to have to make a, hell, it's like Face Off Friday as an example of that, wasn't it? Where we like making that, but it literally takes all day to make that, because it's a lot of editing. And when you sit there and it's like, wow, this has made $10, it's like, what is the fucking point? You know what I mean? It's like,
that's well, you could argue who have sacrificed an entire day to make something that then only just pays one of them the same amount that they could get for working 1 hour somewhere else. It's just, and I've seen people who say
there
things
is a counter argument to that. There's like, well, yeah, but these people may be patrons, or there may be other things and that, but there's no way to tell. Okay, and also it's like you can't. It is kind of a touchy subject, and I do like to feel that we are kind of open about this, because a lot of people don't really talk about this, especially with YouTube channels and stuff. But there does come a moment in time where you sit there and you're like, what I make doesn't get enough views. I need X. I mean, somebody asked me on Twitter today, how many views would you need a month to make it a living on YouTube? And I was like just solely off YouTube, I was like maybe 2 to 3 million views a month. We get about 500,000 a month. Yeah. So there's a difference there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and also we're two people as well, so it's worse. So, but you know, times do change, and that's why we've got all the other stuff that we've got going on.
The thing is, well, is there. I think. I mean, luckily, it doesn't happen so much with our followers, with our audience, because somehow out of all the terrible people that you find on YouTube, we've managed to find pretty much none of them, which is pretty awesome, really. Because when you look at some other YouTube channels, if you go to the comment section and stuff, it's just a cesspool. It's like horrendous. Don't have that. We're very fortunate in that respect. But I have had people like ask me on Twitter or leave comments or say to me on Steam things like, "You've said before that you hardly make anything off YouTube. Well, how is it you're talking about buying Warhammer and stuff?" It's not down to YouTube. It's down to circumstance. I'm very lucky in that I've got a wife who works and is willing to support whatever, you know, I don't make.
A bum husband
building this. So it's like she's prepared to help me on the basis that at some point in the future, preferably near future, I'll be making enough for both of us. But the thing is, that's such a long way off coming, and it's such like a touch and go thing with the way that YouTube handles advertising and the way that YouTube handles what they see is, I mean, they're kind of seeing it as crowdfunding, but again, they're approaching it as a not for creators, for us. The creators will get a trickle down, but they won't get anything else, because YouTube has long been about. They say they're for content creators, but they're not. They're for monetization in the most efficient way that will earn them money, not the content creators. No one should ever fool themselves and sit there thinking, oh, well, all these big channels make money off YouTube. Yeah, but for the amount that all these big channels make off YouTube, imagine how much YouTube itself is making. It's not designed. The platform itself and the way that the money is distributed is not designed to help the people making the content. It's designed to help grow YouTube itself,
so like out of every dollar,
then earn more.
Well, if you say like out of every dollar of advertising spent on that PewDiePie makes, 45 cents of that goes directly to YouTube before PewDiePie gets it. The 55 cents he receives is then split with his network, which is most likely 5% or something. Then he gets the rest of it. So YouTube gets the most out of the deal off every channel, because you don't even see the stats. Essentially, it's like, here's what you got, but we took this, so deal with it, sort of thing. It is right. I mean, the whole thing of like, I mean, this is again where the argument comes back to Twitch and YouTube. I also tweeted that it is more profitable to me by a massive degree, if you just want to talk about money, to stream to 300 people than it is to make videos for 50,000 people. I mean, that's retarded. It's like, how can that be a thing?
Yeah.
Now, you can't be that simplistic, because you can say, well, you wouldn't have that many viewers on your stream if you didn't have a YouTube channel, which is, you know, the YouTube channel is the best asset of unit loss, because that's what it is. It's a big YouTube channel. Well, it's a YouTube channel. It's our biggest thing we've got. You know, we've got forums, we've got streams, we've got other stuff, but that is what it is, and that's where we've come from. So it still is integral, but it just doesn't. Right, they made no money. It's stupid. It's like, it
doesn't make any, it doesn't make any sense if you say to someone, "What do you think makes more, making videos for 50,000 people or casting to 200 people?" They're going to think, well, 50,000 is a hell of a lot more than 200.
Yeah.
Except it might be in terms of like, in just terms of the number, but it's not in terms of how the revenue translates to the content creator. On Twitch, you essentially give money to people you like to show appreciation for the content they create. On YouTube, no matter what system they attempt to implement, you somehow end up not really giving the content creator anything. Whether it's because the ability to do so is buried on the About page using a service no one uses, or whether it's via this stupid subscription service, which, again, it's not for the creator, it's for YouTube. No. You still end up not giving the people that you like the actual revenue they want to give them.
There's a bit more information which I didn't actually go over, which this is where the stick quote comes in. So, and YouTube's carrot comes with a stick, which is a beat stick, like we said before. Creators are required to participate in this in the subscription offering, or every video on their channel will be set to private, sources said. The move will most likely upset some creators who may object to aspects of the program. While we cannot comment on ongoing discussions, giving fans more choice to enjoy the content they love and creators more opportunity to earn revenue are always amongst our top priorities, a YouTube spokeswoman told them in an email. So what they're saying is, if you don't go into this system, then you don't, all your videos are set to private, which nobody can see videos then. So they're kind of, that would be a way of saying like every partner on YouTube is in the YouTube sub-program, which that is most likely how they will roll it out. I'm very surprised they would give you the option to say, I don't want to be in it, because if they set all your videos to private, as a result of that, then you're dead. Your channel is dead, because private videos are not monetized, and only you can see them. So what the hell? But like only the channel owner can see them. The thing is, Twitch handles subscriptions on a per channel basis, right? Twitch makes money off the subs, right? The $4.99 is split 50-50 with Twitch. So we get half of that, right? Which isn't a great deal of money. Let's just say $2.50 just for the sake of it. It's $2.48, isn't it? Or something like that. But if it's $2.50, that's what we get, which when you work that into pound is about £1.20, right? So that's how much one sub a month is worth to us on Twitch, which isn't a great deal of money. YouTube's answer is this $10 subscription, supposedly $10, which they're going to take 45% of, and the rest of the money is shared out between every other channel based on how many views they get. So when we're in this program and PewDiePie gets our monthly views in an hour, we're dead, because we're just like, wow, we now make no money off advertising because all of it is going to them. Which again is like, this isn't really like news to us, because this is kind of how advertising works on YouTube. Advertising is like, a lot of it's inventory based, and there is like, so there's or inventory if you're American. So you've got like they generally have an amount, and it'll be, I want to show 1 million views of my ad, and each time I'm going to pay 10 cents for this. Well, of course, if a big channel uploads a video, it's going to use a lot of those ads, isn't it? So it may use all the good ads up. Like, it doesn't know that it's doing this, the big channel. It's just doing it because it's got a lot of traffic. And a smaller channel uploads a video, and it might miss out on that more lucrative CPM and get a lower CPM advert. So that 1,000 views to that channel then might only be worth $5. But if they were involved in the higher quality ad, it may be worth $10. That's why it's so hit and miss with YouTube revenue. You just don't know. It's like, oh, today we made this much. Tomorrow we could make half of that, or we could make double that, or what? It's very weird. But I honestly do believe, like in my hearts of hearts right now, if you were to ask my opinion on the future of Unit Lost, right, because it all does come down to money at the end of the day, because you've got to survive. We do survive, just about. And we only survive as a result of things like Patreon and the stream as well. Even though the stream hasn't been that active, it's been a big contributing factor. Our YouTube subscriptions, our forum subscriptions as well. If it was just off YouTube, there would not be a Unit Lost. And in the future, where do I see this going? I don't know. If we could, I don't know, maybe get some form of sponsorship. God forbid, do more branding deals, which I don't really like doing, but they do pay the bills, or they did pay the bills, although we've not done one for a while. It would be suicidal to let the YouTube channel go away, but you know, I've used my dad as an example before in some discussions when we spoke about business. You know, I know full well if he was to walk in right now, if he was in charge of Unit Lost, which it's a good job he isn't, he would just be like, right then, where'd you make your money? I'd tell him, and he'd say, right, you're wasting your time on that, you're wasting your time on this, go and do that. And it would literally just be me streaming all the time. That would be it. Kiri would be fired. I'd just be like, well, I don't need you no more. I'm just going to make videos on Twitch. Honestly, that's what it would be like. And it'd be like, well, that's not right. What the hell, you know? But it annoys me, because I know it just seems like I'll keep coming back to money, and we've been talking about this for quite a bit now, but you don't really get a lot of money off YouTube. And in fact, you know, this takes me on to an interesting point, Mr. Kirioth. I think we're going to start seeing YouTube channels collapsing. Quite big YouTube channels, right? Channels that are like over 200, 300,000 subscribers. I think you're going to start seeing them give up, because if they upload a video and get 20,000 views, there's a lot of channels I know like this. They might not upload a video every day. They might upload a video, maybe do 3-4 videos a week, okay? Well, if that video is getting like 20,000 views, they're only then making, at the end of the month, 400,000, maybe the same kind of views we're making. It's not enough to live off if that's your only revenue stream. It just isn't enough to live off, and it kills people, because if you're making something that 20,000 people are watching, it's got value, but you're just not getting compensated for it, so you're getting screwed over. And I know people can use ad block and all of that stuff, and people do, and it's fine. You know, if you want to use ad block, use ad block. I don't care. It's just a thing. But I do hope that we are now moving into a more, well, it's almost like crowdfunding, isn't it? I guess for the content. When you think about it. You watch on Twitch, you like what you see, you tip, or you subscribe. On YouTube, you subscribe and you watch the video, and it's fine. YouTube does need to work on it, but I don't think they ever will because they're too backwards.
No, I don't. The thing as well is that when you said like you might be seeing like larger channels give up, there's also another element to this, which is partially money based, but also like the way that we've shifted things about now is now that the Shack of Dreams has been set up and completed, you're going to be streaming more.
Yeah,
a lot more.
Well, which I have been. Like, if you follow the channel, you do know this, yeah.
Which means you cannot code and record during the day and then immediately stream at night because that's suicidal. That'll kill you. Like you can't do that. No. So I've effectively just now taken over the YouTube channel in terms of coding the videos, putting them up, like one-off videos, things like reviews and let's plays and stuff. Chances are that it will be me who encodes, uploads, and sorts those videos out. Which, by the way, it's not massively difficult to upload a video to YouTube, but it's very repetitive. It's really fucking repetitive. And videos like this week, there's been a couple for War for the Overworld. There'll be another one tomorrow, not for War for the Overworld, something different. But if I'm doing all of this work, if I'm making all these videos, if I'm trying to provide people with content that I know people are watching, because people are, and then at the end of the day, YouTube is like, here is your cut. By the way, it's nothing. And forget the money side of things. That, even for someone who isn't a bit off in the head anyway, which is, as you know, I am, that's debilitating. That has a serious effect on someone's ability to keep doing this kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, they're being told by the platform they're using that the stuff they produce isn't worth anything, when it is. Of course it is, because people watch it and people enjoy it. And the amount of feedback we get, the amount of dialogue we have with you guys clearly shows that there's values to the videos we provide. And yet, at the end of the month, when we look at how much YouTube earns, I'm just sat here, I'm going to be saying like, well, what the fuck have I done for the last month?
Yeah.
I cannot physically survive off you guys saying you liked my video. I like the fact that you liked the video. I'm really happy about that. Don't get me wrong. But I cannot take your comments of agreeing with me or having a good discussion and hand it to someone at a shop and say, can I now have my groceries for the next week? It doesn't work like that. So you not only have the aspect of not earning anything, but you also have the aspect of eventually there are going to be people who will look at this like, so effectively what I'm doing is worthless. Like in terms of survivable, livable, keeping me going throughout my day-to-day life, this is meaningless. That's going to crush people. I have trouble with that anyway. If that were to keep going, and if this goes through and suddenly our income drops even more from YouTube, then there will literally be no point me putting effort into YouTube. And I may as well move into streaming as well.
The paradox is the views always go up. Everything grows, but then like if they give you less, it's weird.
Our view rates grow, our subscriber rates grow, the number of comments and the amount of likes and so on all grow, but the amount of revenue either falls or stays the same. And then we get stuff like this, which is going to massively impact it. And it's like, I could be, in fact, I would be well within my rights to just say now, if I was so inclined, you know what, we're not doing YouTube videos anymore. I'll stream 12 till 4, Style stream 4 till 8, and that's all Unit Lost is, because there's literally no point. The thing is, I like making the videos, I like making the content. I know that it's got value, and I know that it's got worth. It's just for some reason YouTube does not reward people for that. And that's the issue. It's just...
I mean, there'll be people watching this, though, who will inevitably like, well, you're just moaning about the fact YouTube are not giving you enough ad money, so you need to make videos that are better quality, or videos that are this and that. But obviously my argument to this is... yeah, but the thing is, we make videos that we make, and there is an audience for those type of videos because you guys are the audience.
And the audience is growing continually as well.
Yeah, and spouting things like, oh, your quality needs to be better and stuff like that. No. If anybody could please explain to me why the most viewed video on our channel is me playing EVE Online and I've got no idea what I'm doing and it's over 350,000 views or whatever it's at, it's definitely over 300,000, then I'm all ears, because I made that video and I have no idea how it achieved the views it did. You can talk about SEO, you can talk about tags, you can talk about titles and all of that stuff, and descriptions, thumbnails. We work tirelessly on that. And I mean, hell, there was examples recently where Kiri had made videos, and we're looking at them and like, what the fuck? Why has this video not got any views?
Yeah,
it's come out before the game's even launched. It's there was limited people out there with access to this. Yeah, it's got like less views than a video of me uploading dancing or something. And like, you know, that, why isn't the YouTube search algorithm working for us then? There's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff, and there is a lot of like things we don't understand about YouTube as well. But the simple fact of the matter is, the way YouTube is designed right now, unless you are a massive channel, okay, and you pull in considerable views, it's very difficult to do anything on YouTube. I mean, like, again, I spoke to some people recently with bigger YouTube channels than me, and they said it's impossible now for anybody to get into YouTube, and I completely agree with that, because like, if you went out now and started a YouTube channel, unless you make something nobody else makes, which is going to be very not impossible, but very difficult to come up with, or you have like some unique thing which gets a load of views and you grow really quick, you're just going to not do anything. You're just going to be sitting there with no subs, no views, because nobody watches your content, because there's a lot of content already out there. Then you go further back to the history of YouTube, right? You look at my channel. Well, I should say our channel. I think it's 4 years old, right, when it was made, but it's only really been operated for around about, I think it's just over 3 years, I think it is. It's been like active. That's not, you know, that's a fairly long time, but there are channels that are twice as old as our channel. Channels that are 2 years old, or even a year older in terms of being active. YouTube wasn't really that populated in 2010, early 2011, 2009 even, go back even further, 2008, 2007. You had your World of Warcraft channels around about that time, Burning Crusade, 2007-ish and stuff like that. Those people got big, and those are the biggest channels right now. We came in like a second wave, if you think about it that way. And I think we were the last wave, essentially, to even get onto YouTube, barring a few. There are a few anomalies, people who have got big in a short amount of time and stuff like that, generally because they covered things which didn't. I mean, like League of Legends, for example. If you come in and covered League of Legends, you would have got really big because the game got massive, and stuff like that, and Minecraft, I guess, and God knows what. But if you were to start a channel now, I don't think you could. But if you're a channel like us, where you started like, and you've been going for about 3 years or so, maybe let's say 3 or 4 years, you're like, you're at a crossroads now in your career. You're trained very specifically to voice over videos, to make videos, to edit videos. You understand YouTube. You most likely understand social media. You understand a lot of stuff like that because you do it all the time, right?
Mm.
You may, and maybe I've done this, I totally have done this, you may start looking around at job sites for jobs that are essentially what you do. Even very basic things like video editing jobs. And what they will pay you to do it is like 10 times what you would make off YouTube. And you sit there and you think, but I'm doing everything, right? So I think there's definitely, I mean, in fact, there was like companies asking for live stream like managers. But it's easy because I live stream all the time. I understand that. I could easily set up a live stream. I understand all the information behind live streaming, all the stats. And it's like, you'll pay me how much to do that? And it's dead tempting. I mean, I remember years ago, I got a job offer off Paradox. I spoke about it before. And it got to the stage where they were willing to fly me over to Sweden and do a face-to-face interview. And I said no, because I was like, I believe in Unit Lost and I want to work on that. You know, and I do believe in Unit Lost. But if I was getting offers then, now if I was to actively go out and look for it, I'd get even more because I've got more knowledge. Because, I mean, you just walk in and say, this brand has been built from nothing. Look what it is. Look what it does. Look at all this. You could get jobs. And it is very tempting to just say, what am I doing? And also, you do get the thing as well, where it's like you are getting older. And it's like, you can't just sit here when you're like 33, 34 with the same thing. It's like, well, no, that's not good enough. You need to grow. You need to, like, a business needs to grow to survive, or just grow to a point where it makes money, so you've got a living in accordance with average Joe on the street, which is basically what we're after. Like, when we, like I said, this is the last thing I'm going to say it, but when we go on about earning and revenue and stuff like that, 99% of our viewers make more money than us. Okay. We're not like some sort of like Kiri might say, oh, he's bought some Warhammer stuff and shit like that. That's great. It's not much in the grand scheme of things for a bloke to spend 20 quid on a fucking bit of plastic or whatever he buys.
Yeah,
it's nothing. You know, it's like,
and it's like
great.
It's one of those things where
you can't be expected to live a life and not do anything, which is
yeah.
You get more money on the dole. You know what I mean? If you were just like you doing nothing, you would get more money. And then I'm not saying it's not right and it's not wrong. We are building a business, so you have to understand that. And we are both in positions where we can say, okay, we can build the business. But there does come a point when it's like, we've got to do something different. And that's why I've been streaming more. And the results I'm seeing from streaming are extremely good. And to the point of, if I just keep streaming, then that's all I will do. And like Kiri said, when I streamed before, and I did burn out on it, you know, I'll admit I did, because I was working in the day, we'd be recording a load of Civilization episodes and HOTFIX and God knows what. Then I'd be editing those videos, and then I'd go straight into a stream, which lasts for about 6 hours, and then I would be destroyed, and I'd do it the next day and the next day. The reason I was doing it is because I had to do it to make money.
Yeah.
And it's like slave labor. Yeah. It's crazy. It's mad. It's like, well, that's maybe a bit extreme, but it's like, you know, you are doing a lot of work. You're
doing good. You're putting a lot in. You're not getting out anywhere near as much as you're putting into it. And it's like things like
but you are getting you are getting out of it, because you are. It's not like you make, because you could say, because there'll be people out there with really small YouTube channels who will argue they do as much work as us and whatever, and oh my god, how can you moan and all that shit. We're not really talking about that. What we're talking about is we do get results in terms of views and all of that stuff. So in accordance with that, we should get enough to carry on with what we're doing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for coming in, but it's very hard to explain it without me just throwing figures out. I can't do that because that would be a breach of the contract. But with Maker and other places, so I can't just talk about money. If I did, it'd be a big eye opener. I'm fairly sure you'd be like, no, that can't be right.
Well, this is the thing. It's kind of, whenever we talk about this kind of thing, there's inevitably like a select few who will be like, oh, why is it about money? You know, why is it about money? Why are you talking about this? We can't give you direct figures as to what we earn. We can't. It is literally contractually forbidden for us to do that. And so we have to kind of skirt around it and try to impress on you kind of what the situation is without actually giving details on what the situation is. Now, that's not ideal. And I can kind of see why people would sit there and go, oh, well, all you talk about is money. It's kind of hard not to consider the money side of things when you are literally spending your working life doing something and not essentially getting paid as much as you should be for it. It's like the only knowledge I've ever come up with is, if your boss said to you, I want you to keep doing what you're doing, but I want you to take 75% less, you would go, no. The only difference between it is that we are doing this for ourselves. You know, we're trying to build this up for ourselves. It's something we want to do. It's something we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, if we didn't enjoy doing it, then Unit Loss wouldn't be here. This video would not exist because we would have fucking given up years ago. So if you're sitting there going, oh, you're only in it for the money, well, first of all, that's completely wrong, because if we were, then we literally wouldn't be doing it. If all we cared about was money, we would not work on Unit Lost. This video wouldn't exist. The channel would have stopped probably about 2 years ago. Okay, so you can get that out of your head straight away. But the fact remains that to keep making content, to keep growing the channel, to keep doing what we want to do and provide the videos that you watch, we kind of need to be able to make some form of living. And when we say we want to make money off YouTube, I'm not saying I want to go out and buy a fucking golden yacht and a Lamborghini. I would like to be able to say to my wife, yes, I now earn the same as you. Especially considering that her job is not that well paid anyway, especially for the amount of hours she does. Yeah. She does not earn a lot of money, but I earn a lot less than she does. And yet, I work pretty much the same amount of time, if not a bit more.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. It just comes down to parity. It's not the fact that it's not sitting there going, oh, I demand all the money, I want all the money. No, I just want to be able to make a decent living off it. I'd be happy with that.
Well, what we know is there is the audience out there for us, and they do support us on Patreon and stuff like that. It is there, and it will support us. But you know, if you look at YouTube and you look at a lot of the channels, I guess, that are kind of like really mega big, like your Vanos games and stuff like that, they are younger generally men. They're younger though. They're very much like, I'm in college or I'm somewhere like that, and I can just mess around and make videos, and oh yeah, it's fine. With us though, it's obviously different, because we were like, we've made this thing called Unit Lost, and we make a lot of entertainment for people, and we are a business, because you've got to be a business if you're earning your own money. You can't just take money under the table. The government will put you in prison for that. But like, if you don't see a future in terms of a financial future, then you can't keep doing it. Like I said, if you when I looked around, if I just said to Mr. Kirioth, well, you can work 8 hours a day, Mr. Kirioth, and I'll pay you 30 grand a year, you'd be like, okay. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And all I want you to do is edit 1 video a day, Mr. Kirioth. Mr. Kirioth has been editing about 4 videos a day at the moment, right? Yeah. And doing everything, not just editing the video, but doing all the descriptions, the tags, everything, and then promoting them, and then doing God knows what. It's crazy when you think about it. The fact of the matter is, if we wanted to make money right now, we could make money right now, but it would not involve Unit Lost. But we don't. We want to do Unit Lost. That's why we're on Unit Lost. That's why there's been changes. That's why Twitch is becoming more of a thing we're looking at, because it's more of a viable platform. Now, it's not an easy platform, don't get me wrong, because you need to be able to stream, which is quite hard. Luckily for us, and especially for me, I can just keep talking all fucking day about shit. And people laugh at my accent as well, so that seems to help for me as well. And we've got the hardware to do it, because you put the effort in to build the stuff. Like Kiri said, I've got the Shack of Streams, which is a soundproof booth, where I can just do whatever the hell I like. You know, without these things, it would be difficult to do it. And it's took us a long time to get to the point of that. And we've also spoke about this for ages on HOTFIX. In fact, to the point where I don't even care about the other subjects anymore, Mr. Kirioth. But we do need to speak about this. We really did need to speak about this, because YouTube is not it does not understand its content creators. It understands the big content creators. It doesn't understand what they do. I don't think it even knows. And you know what I find fucking comical as well? There's a guy called Fwiz or Fwiz or whatever his name is. I think he was some MLG guy, right? I have no idea like what this guy is supposed to be, but he's the global head of gaming of YouTube. I followed him on Twitter when he got this position. All he ever tweets about is Call of Duty and going to MLG events. I don't understand what he is. I don't know who the guy is. He seems quite immature to me. Doesn't definitely seem like a global head of gaming, whatever the hell is that supposed to mean. You know, if I was the global head of gaming, I'd be like, right guys, we've got 1,000 channels on YouTube which are massive and make a shitload of money. Well, hell, we've probably got 3,000, 4,000 channels. These guys are making insane money. That's great, right? They're obviously doing well. They'll keep making content. But we also have a lot of channels that are not making mega money, right? We need to look at ways to sustain these channels, because they are getting considerable views. You know, if I say I've got 50,000 subscribers, we're getting tens of thousands of views a day. It's not some joker operation. To do that, you've got to be full-time. But then YouTube is like, well, the compensation you'll receive for that through your network, which, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go into MCNs as well. I think MCNs are a complete con, because they don't do anything. We have to sign away a percentage of our earnings, which again I can't tell you because it's the contract, blah, blah, blah. But we have to sign that away to an MCN to enable us to put adverts on our videos. Now, they don't do anything really for us. In fact, I don't even talk to my MCM if I have any problems with YouTube.
I'm trying to remember
I've got contacts at
time.
YouTube that I talk directly with and say, hey, what the hell is this? You know?
Yeah, the last time we had a problem, we didn't even speak to the MCN. We just went straight to the guy that we know at YouTube who fixed it for us, because it would take longer.
Take weeks.
Weeks for it to be.
But like, what would I say if I was the global head of gaming, which just is a stupid title? I'd be like, we need to look at a way. Like, I don't know why they haven't just come out and gone, right, Twitch's subs button works. We're having one of them on every channel. We're going to only let subs comment on the videos. That would help us start, because YouTube comment sections can get really bad. In fact, people turn them off because they're just so bad. Spam bots, racism, hate, everything. Just, you know, some 12-year-old is angry at the world, so he's decided to call you every name under the sun, kind of stuff. And it's like, well, you know, there was a time when I used to read through the comments. We look at them now and laugh at them. I don't pay attention to the comments at all. I will do for HOTFIX, because most of the comments on HOTFIX are quite good, but the rest of the videos I don't even care. You know, and I'm just like, why are people? What the hell is going on? I'd also say a tip system should be implemented, but it should go entirely to the content creator. Not we take a bit. In fact, I think the way the tip system works, and there was controversy over this as well. The tip system, you get paid when your MCM pays you. Your payment is part of the MCM payment, right? So you get tipped $10, right? That goes into your amount YouTube pay you and goes to your MCN, and your MCM could take a percentage away. Maker, which I'm in, they said we won't take any of that, which is great because we won't get any through it anyway. But if they did say...
But the fact that that option exists in the first place is fucking stupid, because the MCN has absolutely nothing to do with people wanting to financially support your channel. They have zero to do with that. They've got practically fuck all to do with the channel anyway these days. They're completely irrelevant most of the time. So for that, the thing that gets me is that talking about a subscription on like every channel, even if it was like a thing that was like, you decide how much you want to give this channel every month.
Yeah.
If 1,000 out of the 50,000 people who subscribe to this channel gave us a dollar, just $1 a month, that would vastly increase how much we get. That would literally be, at this point, and this is going to sound, I don't care how pathetic it sounds, whether you believe me or not, but that would actually be, for me at least, well, for both of us, like a life-changing thing. That would actually make our lives better. If it was $1, that's it. And yet the system isn't there.
You know,
it makes no sense funny. That it's not there.
You know what's really funny? It's really funny when you look, like, you analyse your life. I mean, I've got brothers. Well, I haven't got brothers. What? I've got sisters and stuff like that. And I know.
Say, what? I've never met this guy.
I've got friends. That's what I was trying to say. Like, you look at their lives and you compare them to what we do. And obviously, this is just a choice we've made. It isn't, oh God, YouTube's making us do this or whatever. But I am like entirely. All I ever do is unit loss. Like, I don't do anything else. And that's fine because it's my business and I'm building it and whatever. But, like, there is no time for anything else. And when there's only so long you can keep doing something and not have any other, like, external interest. It's like the Warhammer stuff, the 40k stuff is something I'll do when there's, well, I say downtime, when there's forced downtime I give myself, because I should really be working to try and maybe get a sponsorship deal or maybe do something to try and increase the revenue again. But you can't possibly physically just work all around the clock all the time, because you get, well, I don't get depressed, but you get stressed out. It's like, oh God, you know, what am I going to do now? And it's bad. You know, when I'm sitting in this situation right now where I can theoretically do nothing, you know, in fact, I will give you some statistics, which I can give you. So yesterday, I think we got 4 subscribers on Twitch, and I got a couple of tips. There wasn't very big tips, just a couple of dollars. But ignore the tips, just talk about the subs, yeah? So if I got 4 subs, right, that means a month, that's going to get me effectively $10 extra a month, yeah? Is it 10? Or am I an idiot? 4? No, it'd be hot.
Yeah,
it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. So 10. How many views would you need to get on a standard YouTube video to attain $10? It'd be a good 1,000. Well, it'd be a few thousand. It'd be quite a few actually. Yeah. Depends what the CPM's worth. This is the problem. Like, it could be worth shit. It's generally worth less this portion of the year compared towards Christmas. Like, but if you say that was like, I don't know, 6,000 views or something, right? That means that I've just streamed without any plan, right? Well, the plan obviously is to stream a certain game, and I've had to set it up. But I've just sat down and streamed and worked for like 4 hours and made something which every month is hopefully going to give us $10 extra. And that's essentially equated to me making a video every month that gets at least 6,000 views. And I've had to do no editing, no planning. I'm just playing a game and just enjoying myself, right? I'm not thinking, what should I do? Because making a video, you have to think, plan, what's it going to be? Okay, this is the video, take it, edit it. There's a lot of work. Yeah, it isn't just 4 hours of me just playing a game. And then, all right, guys, see it. And then I walk out, lock the door to the shack of streams and go and take McGee on a walk or do something, you know, which is totally independent of unit loss, because I know that I've done okay that day. Well, you can't do that with YouTube. Well, you could if you were getting tons of views, but you can't. And that, like, sometimes it's funny for me to analyze myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm crazy. I'm doing like tons of work here, which I'm barely making a living at. But I'm like, where does this go? You know, like, if you didn't have the Twitch thing on the side. I hope this has been interesting to you guys as well, because this is very much like, I mean, I don't like to bullshit about things because it's real. You've got to.
No, that's something that I think hopefully find more on this channel than pretty much any other on the net. It's just we don't lie about what we do. There's no point. Why would we want to? You know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit us to sit here and kind of make it out as though YouTube is some sort of holy grail for doing what you like and making a living from it, because it's just not. Like, it's just nowhere near. In a way, I'm kind of, well, I say in a way I'm lucky. I'm obviously very lucky. I've got a wife and a dog and a house, so I'm fine. But I don't like with your thing about like forcing yourself to have time off there. If I wasn't married to Kat, I wouldn't have any time off. Like, I just wouldn't. If it wasn't for her, like, coming home from work and going, right, I'm home, you need to stop, I wouldn't stop. I would be here probably like 18 hours a day, because at the moment I only sleep about 6 hours anyway. If it wasn't for the fact that I've got the dog, who is in fact sleeping over here and has been really good, surprisingly, I'd probably just go out maybe once a week and go shopping, and the rest of the time would be in this room doing this, and that would be it. But the amount that we earn would not change. It would be more work for the same amount. And
well, I don't know. Hang on, I don't know. Like, I think we're getting a little bit like off the subject here, because we have to sort of. There's a lot of revenue streams we look at. You know, we could promote Patreon more. We could do other things. We do have other ideas. I mean, there is an idea we've got which you might see in the future for a totally different. It is a different YouTube channel. People have probably guessed what this is if you follow us on Twitter and stuff. But and the way we're going to try and support that is more through like a not a video on demand type thing, but more kind of like directly through a patron, where that will enable us to make those videos. But again, we'll have to see where that goes.
Yeah,
it is down to us at the end of the day. We can't blame YouTube. It's not like, oh, we just make videos, YouTube doesn't give us enough money. Wow, YouTube. You know, we could promote other things or do other stuff, but then there comes like, it's almost like an ethical concern there. You know, I'm not going to name anyone, but I think this is absolutely fucking atrocious. So that if any of these people watch this video, this is terrible, and don't do this again, please. If they're streaming on Twitch, they actively ask for donations. It will be, oh, donate to me and I'll do this. Oh, I want to buy this, give me some money on the stream, and people will. And it's like, no, that's bad. Yeah. That's really bad. That's like, are you taking the piss? You know what I mean? That's fucking bad. But the ethical concern would be, you keep shoving it down people's throat. Buy this, you need to pay this, yada yada. That's not good. You know, people need to willingly want to take what you offer and say, okay, it's fine. You know, the big conundrum for us is, because a lot of the traffic is YouTube. It's free. You know, we make a video. There's probably people out there who've watched all our videos from the end of time, and that's all they've done is watch our videos. That's great. You know, that's fine. That's all I ever say anybody needs to do. Nobody needs to be a patron or needs to do whatever on Twitch or anything like that. Just watching our videos without ad block on is like, that's great. If everyone did that, that'd be fine. But that's not the case. A lot of people use ad block. That obviously impacts on us. But the content is free. This is what I'm getting at. It's not hidden behind some sort of paywall. You know, again, we've seen channels on YouTube, haven't we, where it's just a complete paywall channel, and it's like, how the hell? Yeah. That is like, that in my eyes would not work, because YouTube is a free platform, and I am not paying you to watch your video on YouTube. I become a patron of you if I am a fan of your channel and watch your videos all the time, because I appreciate what you do, especially me, because I understand the work that goes in. It's why I'm subscribed to multiple Twitch channels, because I understand that they put a lot of effort into what they do, and that's totally fine. You know, so
this is the thing. We're not blaming. We're not saying, oh, YouTube should give us more. That's not the concern. The concern is the fact that
it could do better, a lot better.
Yeah, the concern is that YouTube keeps saying that they've had ideas to improve things for content creators, that they want to do this and that and the other to make, you know, to have it so that content creators have got more ways to make money. But the things they're implementing they either miss the mark, or they're just badly implemented in general. Like, this is what this is all about. I know it kind of turned into basically being incredibly honest about just the general state of how things are for a channel of our size, but at the end of the day, we are dictated to by YouTube as to how things go, which obviously if we had a problem for that, then we wouldn't have started in the first place. We knew this was how it was going to be, so that's not an issue. The issue is that content creators are being told that things are going to be better for them because YouTube have had an idea. Then we're told what the idea is. Then we're told how it's going to be implemented.
I think
we're told we've pretty much got no choice. But we also know from our own experience and from the perspective of people who run channels and watch channels as well, that what they're suggesting won't work. And yet we're directly impacted by it. But we can't really do anything about it except tell you.
I think it's a situation where, and I'm pretty sure this is. I think I can make a broad sweeping statement about this. I don't think YouTube channels understand their worth. I don't think they understand what they're worth, and I don't understand what I'm worth, but I've got something to measure it against now, and that is Twitch. And when I look at the figures on Twitch, and I'm like, well, I get between 200 and 300 concurrent viewers. How much revenue am I making here? And it's like, excuse me. And then you compare that to all your statistics through your analytics on YouTube, and you're like, okay, why am I bothering with YouTube? Because I've clearly got an audience on Twitch. And there becomes a decision there, which it's easier for us to make because we're a two-man operation. But if I was on my own, I would not be making YouTube channel videos anymore. I tell you what I would do. I would just upload the VODs of the stream entirely to the YouTube channel. And maybe, if I felt like it, make some little highlight clips of the stream, and that would be it. The rest of it would just be stream after stream after stream after stream, because it's so easy to make. I'm back playing games again, which is the ludicrous thing about it. I'm not just thinking about what to make as content all the time. So it's weird. It's like, why isn't YouTube facilitating channels of our size and below and even above? Well, not really facilitating, but just giving us the same tools or the same way to kind of make money, or equal kind of ways of making money that somewhere like Twitch does, where you get a much shorter, lesser audience, but make comparatively a shitload more money, and suddenly you're like, and this it does come down to stress again. If you're financially secure, you're going to make better videos all day long, because you're like, well, there's something I ain't got to worry about anymore. So and when you're an entertainer and your living depends on your video content and your ability to entertain, to just be like, oh, I'm fucking grumpy today because I've had to pay a bill and I've got no money, you're not going to be as good. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really weird.
And this is the thing that frustrates us the most, and what kind of causes us to talk about this stuff, is the fact that a lot of the stuff that you see on Twitch could just be directly implemented onto YouTube, and it would work the same.
Is what pisses us off.
It would work the same. It would work exactly the same. If there was a subscribe button on our YouTube channel for $5, I know we'd get a ton of subscribers, and it would be brilliant, and I'd be really thankful. But that's not what they're doing, and this is the frustration. It's like, we know we've made the decision to be on YouTube. That's our decision. That's fine. As I say, we knew what we were getting into. That's not the problem. It's the fact that it doesn't have to be this complicated. Like, it does not have to be this kind of scattershot and ridiculous the way that YouTube approaches stuff like this. They could just look at a rival platform, which is currently like so far superior for especially gaming content, and say, holy shit, that works. We should do that. But they don't do that. They don't do that, and there's no reason for them not to. There's no reason for them not to do it. Absolutely, it's just ridiculous, and that's where this kind of frustration lies. It's not a case of we want loads of money. It's just, we'd like to be able to have the content that we produce, have the value of it, the worth of it, actually reflected in what YouTube.
So I think YouTube are upgrading their streaming platform. Yeah, they did say it's going to be more esports focused and all this, but we don't know any details about that or whatever the hell that's going to be. The fact is, though, they have to be bleeding creators to Twitch. They've just got to be, because I know, like, essentially what this hotfix has been. We have spoke about this shit paid subscription system and a lot of problems with YouTube, but this has kind of been like a discussion we would have behind the scenes at Unit Loss. Like, this is what we would talk about.
Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of people have had this discussion, right? Probably with their family members, probably with anybody close to them who are running solo YouTube channels, and have thought, I'm going to Twitch. I don't want to name people, but I do know quite a few people who have just completely gone, screw it. In fact, I can name people I don't talk to. So Towley, he's a guy. I don't like his stuff, but that's fine, because everyone's got their own opinion. Watch what you like. He was a YouTube channel, and one day was like, fuck it, I'm just going on Twitch. And now he's vastly successful on Twitch.
Yeah.
There are a ton of other people. I mean, I don't know him personally, so maybe it was a bit more complex than that, but from what people have told me, that's the way he came around. But there are a lot of other people And it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to work out who these people are, because their YouTube channels will grind to a halt. They will still keep them going because it's obviously worth, in some degree, to put some effort into the channel. But streaming is the way forward. And you could say streaming is kind of the new video gaming entertainment platform, because it's a new way of like entertaining people. Obviously it's got downsides because it's difficult to watch a VOD of a stream, or I find it very difficult to watch a VOD because the chat interaction isn't there. I know there is a mod you can there's a plugin, an IRC plugin for Chrome you can get, which does give you the chat, but you can't obviously interact with it, can you? So it's like interaction is part of the point. But yeah, I just think YouTube it's very archaic the way it approaches these things, especially when a rival platform is basically doing things which is clearly working. Because I'm sitting here and I don't care. Like, you know what? I'm really grateful that Amazon bought Twitch instead of YouTube or Google.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they probably got blocked, you know, by the Monopoly Commission. But to have a rival offering is so good. You know, I mean, hell, look at platforms like Netflix. Why? I mean, Netflix doesn't get as many viewers as fucking, you know, as like I was gonna say Game of Thrones on like a certain channel, but I know HBO have released their subscription-based service, which is just gonna make a massive killing. But like Netflix is that you pay to enter, and why do you pay? Because there's a shitload of good content there, and they've got their unique shows. Like I've watched Better Call Saul. I thought that was pretty funny. I've watched a load of Netflix original series, and there is value there, so people want that value. And the same is true of us on YouTube. People want the videos we make. So if there was a way of kind of, you know, I know YouTube's a free platform. It's like, I don't agree with hiding videos behind a paywall on YouTube, but if there was a way of people going, you know, we enjoy this, have a bit, or because it's not like it isn't a donation. It's you're paying for a service. That's what it is. It's like you like that, so there you go. You know, that's why donations are called tips on Twitch, because they're not donations. It isn't like you're not like some busker on the street and somebody chucks you a bit of money. It's like, no, you are entertaining this person in their home. You are giving them entertainment, high quality entertainment, and it's very specialist entertainment. So if you like that, then sure, give them a tip. Pay them for that entertainment. That's what you're doing. It's pay them. Which is also the last thing I'm going to say is somebody made a ton of money on Twitch off tips, and just decided not to declare it. And then the Inland Revenue were like, "Excuse me," he was an American.
Jeez.
And he was
you
like,
can't do that.
But
that's
people
bad.
gave me the money, and they were like, "No, they've paid for a service."
Yeah, that's not how it works. That's not how it
so
works.
So he thought he didn't have to pay tax, but then he did have to pay tax of a massive amount.
Yeah, I bet that hurt. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it at that because it's been like an hour and a half. We were going to cover the games blocked in Crimea because of the US sanctions, which is really annoying, but there is an easy way around that. Just VPN your way out of it. But that's an example of pissing politics, screwing up people's games. And the other thing was the Deus Ex Mankind Divided leak, which then turned into an official announcement, which, well, more of that is what I want.
There's a trailer. Go and find it. I will say that I do not remember Human Revolution playing like that. So
yeah, people are saying it looks like Crisis. It's like Crisis. And shit like that. But but the thing is, we've gone into a lot of detail here on sort of the business behind YouTube and how it impacts on channels of our size. And like I said, I do expect channels of a bigger size than us that only do YouTube and nothing else will probably start either giving up YouTube, moving on to a different job, because as I said, if you do look around for positions that would work for people with YouTube experience, especially everything involved with it, you can earn quite a bit of cash. But then the other way is people will just move to Twitch, which we're trying to get at the moment, best of both worlds, where we're doing Twitch and we're also going to do YouTube. I don't know where we'll be in a few weeks' time, because we're going to we need to work out what's going on. Maybe Kiri starts streaming more. Maybe we both stream together. Maybe we just completely lax off the YouTube channel. Maybe we carry on. You know, we'll have to see. The key thing is you've got to be dynamic and fluid, and we are, because we're only a small company, so we can change that quick. Obviously, the danger is you change too much and then you make a mess, but we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. But we've been frightfully honest in this hotfix. Again, this has probably been one of the better hotfixes we've done. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment below as well. Yeah, that's if you're not a sub. And congratulations if you managed to listen to us going on for like an hour and a half. And yeah, it's been beautiful, Mr. Kirioth. Has it been beautiful for you?
Delightful.
Oh my god.
Although I'm now out of Monster.
Yeah, well, I've got a really sore throat now.
I've only got one other can on my desk, and I can't drink it because it's a pet corrector.
Can you press it, or would it kill the dog?
The dog's asleep. I don't want to.
It's like a horrendous nightmare.
She does not like it.
And also,
it's not animal cruelty. It's just a noise. That's all it is.
We were joined by McGee as well. That was a picture when the shack was under construction, and she was standing by a drill. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
She was operating it.
No, she was just begging for food, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.